Welcome to Play Therapy, Marriage and Family Play Therapy Theories. Chapter 7 with the Landreth book is Playroom and Materials. The atmosphere is important. If you will look on our website, you'll see the two YouTube clips that we have, one for 3 minutes, one for about 7 minutes, that show aspects of our playroom and some of my grandchildren posing as clients. The atmosphere of being a magical place, a safe place, a place for fantasy, for imagination, a place to correct unbearable realities, is the first impression that you want to convey, that everything is possible. The possibilities are endless. So it should be a warm place that clearly says this is a place for children, an environmentally friendly place for children. Children feel comfortable in places that have some openness. That's why our playroom is in a large area where there's plenty of room for them to access puppets, dress-up clothes, the chalkboard, painting, the easels, the musical instruments, the sand tray. And the miniatures are spread out very carefully where they get a chance to see what is available to them prior to making their choices. And it's noisy, so the location should be in a place in your office or your agency where there's as little distraction both of the client as well as to other clients or counselors who may be in the building. Our play therapy room has combination locks, security locks on the doors, because when the client is in there, sometimes family members may want to come in. That should not occur unless they're invited in or the client is expecting them. Playroom size, at least 12 by 15 feet. An area, according to Dr. Landreth, of 150 to 200 square feet seems to be ideal because there's enough room to move around, but the client is never terribly far away from the therapist. And it can be, in those settings, very intensely emotional for the experience, and there may need to be a seat where the client can sit down and regroup psychologically, a place for reflection. Typically after a sand tray or musical intervention, the client and I will go back to my regular counseling office to process and to regroup, and we'll leave that place behind. If you do sand tray, dress up, paintings, pictures should be taken. Videos are not what we do, but we do take still photography so that there's a raw data trail of what actually happened in the playroom. Privacy, where it cannot be peeked in upon from the windows. Washable, easily cleaned. Some of the chalk and the paint and the other magic markers in the sand, it needs to be a place where there's freedom to do the things that need to be done without having cleanup being such a big issue. We do have some chalkboards. We have two that are mounted to the walls, as well as several different easels. Close access to a bathroom, we have that as well for wash up after those kind of things are taken care of. Other settings, sometimes schools will allow a teacher to have a classroom that's dedicated for a counseling and play therapy room. I know that in Georgia there are some grant opportunities for that in certain counties. If your office is just one office and you're having to do play therapy in your office, if there is a closet where the things can be stored and then pulled out and set up in your office prior to that particular client coming. On page 132 in chapter 7, according to Dr. Landreth, there's a rationale for selecting toys. Play therapy is not just playing games. It's not board games. It is a psychotherapeutic media for which to work out and process feelings and experiences. On page 133, he says toys and materials should be selected, not collected. They should facilitate a wide range of creative expression, emotional expression, engage the client's interest, facilitate expressive and exploratory play, without the need for verbalization, a success without a prescribed structure, non-committal play, and be sturdy for active use. We also have mirrors for the clients to be able to see themselves before and after, and to make those kind of comparisons. The item that's selected should be able to do only what the child wants it to do. Therefore, mechanical or electronic toys should not be used because they're not going to be consistent with the rationale for play therapy. The toys are manipulatives, they're metaphors, they're miniatures, things that the child or the client can use for themselves. The establishment of a positive relationship, which is a Jungian term for bridging, with the client is very much facilitated in the playroom while these different kinds of interactive interventions are taking place. Looking at the dollhouse and sand tray, you're going to see family themes played out over and over and over. And Dr. Landreth goes over expression of a wide range of feeling and exploration of real life experiences. If your sand tray miniatures, your dress-up clothes mirror those things, then your client is going to be able to take themselves and project themselves into those experiences for you to get an interview to what's actually going on with them. Reality testing of limits to work out aggressive release therapy, developing positive self-image, particularly with painting and drawing and with music, creating a journey or pathway to develop self-understanding and self-control, that some things that are just unacceptable behaviors have to be redirected. The toys are not to take home. They're there for other children. They're not to be destroyed. They're there to be used again. And the categories of toys. Always, it's reality-based, natural-based, expressive, scary and aggressive, family and nurturing. And including something like a bop bag or a very large stuffed animals for cuddling. Bop bags have no face because it's not okay to hit people. They also have no gender. So if they are aggressively treated, we're not hurting people or animals. If they are cuddled with, they have no gender, so there's not an opportunity for sexualization. So in your real life toys, you're looking at dolls, families, dollhouse, puppets, other kinds of nondescript things and items that are found in homes. Beds, toilets, telephones, cars, those things. With acting out an aggressive release, you have things, egg cartons can be pulled apart, they can be stomped on, bubble wrap can be popped, different kinds of animals from the dollar store are there for both prey and predatory type items. Things for emotional release, dishpan and sand and blocks and Legos and Lincoln Logs, Tinker Toys, anything that can be made into something that the client wishes to express. On page 143 is a list of things if you have to have a portable playroom. It's a tote bag playroom, and some of the more things that Dr. Landreth would recommend are in there, as well as on page 144. He's got a whole list of things that span art, music, dress up, sand tray, and drawing. The thing to remember if you're starting out and you don't have that ability, of the 6 or 7 categories, if you can get 5 or 6 of each category, paying particular attention to the animals that you want, birds and insects and dinosaurs and snakes and some of those things. Some of those things are $1 a bag from the dollar store, and different culturally diverse family units going across gender and across race, culture, and ethnicity. So, special considerations, you might want to have washable paint if you're using paint, and cups and little plastic plates. Small plastic storage containers can be used for a sandbox in a pinch. The playroom is not a place for babysitting. It's not a place for the child to be left unattended. If you do sanctuary with an adolescent or an adult, giving them a little space, a little privacy, sometimes it's very therapeutic, but children have to be not only monitored, but the counselor has to be there present in the moment while they're there. If broken toys are dangerous, have sharp points, obviously you would move them. There is a place for broken toys in that sometimes broken toys speak to neglect and abuse. And so looking at 148, there is a little blurb on suggested titles for play therapy in schools, some articles that you can look at. Also, how to implement a play therapy program in the school, to set aside a room, and to look for grants. We will reconvene with Chapter 8. Thank you.